Yes, aunties, those 5 years in Chicago were amongst the busiest and happiest of my life.
From Chicago, we go to South Bend, Indiana.
I don't think they'd be interested in our experience in South Bend.
Well, Jonathan, you've led a very interesting life, I'm sure, but we really shouldn't have allowed you to talk so late.
My meeting Dr. Einstein in London, of course, changed the whole course of my life. You remember I said I had been in South Africa in the diamond business, and then Amsterdam in the diamond market. I wanted to go back to South Africa. Dr. Einstein made that possible for me.
That was a good job, John. When they took off the bandages, his face looked so different. The nurse had to introduce me.
Well, I love that face. I still carry a picture of it with me.
Well, this looks more the way you used to look, but still, I wouldn't know you.
I think we'll go back to that face, Doctor.
Yeah, it's safe now.
Well, I know you both want to get to where you're going.
My dear aunties, I'm so full of that delicious dinner, I don't think I could move a muscle.
Yeah, nice here.
Well, you know, it is very late.
I found it.
What did you find, Teddy?
My biography, the story of my life. Here we are, General Goebbels and President Roosevelt at Culebra Hut. That's you, General, and that's me.
My, how I've changed.
You see, that's because that picture hasn't been taken yet. No, we haven't started work on Culebra Hut yet. We're still digging locks. And now I must insist that you accompany me on our inspection of the new lock.
Oh, no, Teddy, not to Panama.
No, we go to Panama another time. Panama's a long way off.
Oh, nonsense. It's just down in the cellar.
The cellar?
Well, we live in the Panama Canal in the cellar.
And now, General, as President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief of the Army of the Navy and the man who gave you this job, I must insist that you accompany me on the inspection of the new lock.
Teddy, I think it's time for you to go to bed.
Excuse me, who are you?
I am Woodrow Wilson. Now go to bed.
You're not Wilson. Your face does look familiar. Oh, perhaps you're someone I meet on my hunting trip to Africa. Yes, you look like someone I might meet in the jungle.
This is your brother Jonathan, dear. He's had his face changed.
So that's him, a nature faker.
Well, Teddy, perhaps you had better go to bed. Jonathan and his friend have to get back to their hotel.
General Goebbels inspect the canal.
Okay, Mr. President, we go to Panama.
It's down south, you know.
Yeah. Voyage.
Aunt Abby, I'm afraid that I must correct a misapprehension on your part. You see, we have no hotel. We came directly here.
Well, there's a very nice little
Aunt
hotel.
Martha, this is my home.
Oh, but Jonathan, you can't stay here. We need our rooms.
You need them.
Yes, for our lodgers.
You have lodgers staying here.
Well, not now, but we will have soon.
Then my room is free.
Well, Jonathan, there's no place for Dr. Einstein.
You share the room with me.
Jonathan, you just can't stay here.
Dr. Einstein and I need a place to sleep. Now, you remember this afternoon that as a boy, I could be quite disagreeable. It wouldn't be happy for any of us if I had to resort.
Perhaps we can let them stay here tonight. Well, just overnight, Jonathan.
Then it's all settled. Now please get my room ready.
It just needs airing out. We keep it ready to show our lodgers. I think you and Dr. Einstein will find it comfortable.
You know, you have a very distinguished guest in Dr. Einstein. You don't appreciate his skill, but you will. In a few weeks, you'll see me looking like a very different Jonathan.
He can't operate on you
When
here.
we get organized, when we resume practice. Oh, I forgot to tell you. We're turning Grandfather's laboratory into an operating room. We expect to be very busy.
But, Jonathan, we won't let you turn this house into a hospital.
A hospital? No. More like a beauty parlor.
Johnny, down in the cellar.
Dr. Einstein, my aunts have invited us to live with them.
Oh, you fixed it.
Well, you're sleeping here tonight.
Please get our room ready immediately.
Well, just for tonight.
Johnny, down in the cellar. What do you think I find?
What?
The Panama Canal.
The Panama Canal!
It just fits Mr. Spinazzo. It's a hole that Teddy dug. It's 6 foot long and 4 foot wide.
Down there?
Yeah, you'd think they knew we were bringing Mr. Spinazzo along. That's hospitality.
Oh, that's rather a good joke on my aunts, isn't it? Living in a house with a body buried in the cellar.
How did we get him in?
Yes, we can't just walk in through the window, can we? I'll tell you what. I'll drive the car up between the house and the cemetery, and when they've gone to bed, we'll bring Mr. Spinazzo in through the window.
Bed. Just think, John. We got a bed tonight.
Easy, Doctor. You're operating in the morning, you know. And this time you had better be sober.
Johnny, I think you're beautiful.
And if you don't?
No, Johnny.
Jonathan, your room is ready.
Good, then you can go to bed. Dr. Einstein and I will be bringing the car up behind the house.
It's all right where it is until morning.
No, I don't want to leave it in the street. It might be against the law.
Abby, what are we going to do? Well, we're not going to let them spend more than one night in this house, for one thing. What will the neighbors think? People coming in here with one face and going out with another.
And what are we going to do about Mr. Hoskins?
Oh, Mr. Hoskins. Oh, I forgot all about him. It can't be very comfortable in there for him. He's so patient. I think we'd better have Teddy get Mr. Hoskins downstairs right away.
Abby, I will not invite Jonathan to the funeral services.
Oh, no, we'll wait until they've gone to bed and then come down for the services.
General Garthens was very pleased. He said the canal is just the right size.
Teddy, there's been another yellow fever victim.
Oh, dear me, this will come as a shock to the general.
Well, then we mustn't tell him about it.
Oh, but it's his department.
Oh, no, we mustn't tell him, Teddy. It would only spoil his business.
No, Fred's out of my hands. He must be told. Army regulations, you know.
Oh, Teddy, we must keep it a secret.
Yes.
A state secret?
Yes, a state secret.
Promise?
You have the word of the President of the United States. Cross my heart and hope to die. Now, how are we going to keep it a secret?
Then, Teddy, you go back downstairs. And when I turn out the lights, and it's all dark, you come up and take the poor man down to the canal. Now go along, Teddy.
And we'll come down later and hold services.
You may announce that the President will say a few words. Yo, where is the poor devil?
He's in the window seat.
Must be spreading. We've never had yellow fever there before.
Jonathan and Dr. Einstein, get back. Let's see if we can get them to go to bed right away.
Yes. And then when they're asleep, we'll be all dressed for the services. Abby, I've never even seen Mr. Hoskins.
That's right, you were out. Well, you come right over here and see him now. You know, he's really very nice looking, considering he's a Methodist. What's it? Oh, what? Oh, what?
It's all right, Auntie. It's just Dr. Einstein bringing the luggage.
Well, Jonathan, your room's waiting for you. You can go right up.
Oh, I'm afraid we don't keep Brooklyn hours, but you two go ahead and run along to bed.
Well, you must be very tired, both of you. We don't go to bed this early.
Well, sure. It's time that I came home to take care of you.
Well, we weren't planning to go until...
Aunt Martha, I said go to bed immediately. Now, bring the luggage in and take this up to the laboratory in the morning. Now, we're all going to bed.
I'll wait down here and turn out the lights after you're up.
Run along, Aunt Martha. All right, Aunt Abby.
I'll be right up.
Now, Aunt Abby, turn off the lights.
right, Johnny.
I'll open the window. You go around and hand him through.
No. He's too heavy for me. You go around and push. I stand here and pull it, and then together we get him down to Panama.
All right. I'll take a look around outside. When I rap on the glass, you open the window.
When that this open, don't go. Pass him Lost a leg somewhere. I got him. I found him. I got him. It's okay, that was me. I slipped.
You don't have to.
His shoe came off. Okay, come on, Mr. Spin on through. What's that? Oh no, Johnny, someone's at the door. Johnny, oh no, I'm handling this. You go around and check, see who it is. No, go quick. Come on. I couldn't kill someone skinny. I'm fit.
Miss Abby? Miss Martha? Miss Abby? Miss Martha? Miss Abby? Who is that? Is that you, Teddy? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Elaine Harper. I live next door.
And what are you doing here?
I came over to see Miss Abby and Miss Martha.
Doctor, turn on the lights. I'm afraid you picked a very inopportune time for a social call.
I think you'd better explain what you're doing here.
We happen to live here.
You don't live here. I'm in this house every day and I've never seen you before. Where are Miss Abby and Miss Martha? What have you done to them?
Perhaps we'd better introduce ourselves. This is Dr. Einstein.
Dr. Einstein?
Yes, a surgeon of great distinction. And something of a magician.
Now I suppose you're going to tell me you're Boris Karloff.
I am Jonathan Brewster.
You're Jonathan.
Yes, I suppose.
Just this afternoon for the first time.
And what did they say about me?
Only that there was another brother named Jonathan, and that's all that was said. Well, that explains everything. Now that I know who you are, I'll be running along back home. If you'll kindly unlock the door.
Sure. That explains everything. Just exactly what did you mean by that? And what are you doing here at this time of madness?
I thought I saw someone prowling around the house. I suppose it was you.
You thought you saw someone prowling around the house, eh?
Yes. Weren't you outside? Isn't that your car?
You thought you saw someone at the car.
Yes.
What else did you see?
Just someone walking around the house to the car.
Mhm. What else did you
Just that,
see?
that's all. That's why I came over here. I wanted to tell Miss Abby to call the police, but if it was you and that's your car, I don't need to bother Miss Abby. I'll be running along.
And what was the man doing at the car?
I don't know. You see, I was on my way over here.
I think you're lying.
Well, don't, Johnny. I think she tells the truth. I think we let her go now, yeah?
No, I think she's lying. Prowling around at this time of night. I think she's dangerous, Doctor. She shouldn't be allowed to run around loose.
Take your hands off me.
It's going to be a private funeral.
Teddy, Johnny's men who I am.
She's my daughter, Alice.
Doctor, your handkerchief.
No!
The cellar.
What's happening? What's happening? What are you doing? What's going on there?
Everything's fine. We've got a big thief. Now go back to your room.
But we'll call the police.
No, we've already called the police. Now go back to your room immediately.
Mortimer, where have you been?
To the Nora Bay's Theater, and I should have known better. My God, I'm still there.
Jonathan, dear, this is Dr. Einstein.
Who did you say this was?
I've come back home, Mortimer.
It's your brother, Jonathan. He's had his face changed. Dr. Einstein performed the operation.
Jonathan, you always were a horror, but you have to look like one?
Easy, Johnny.
Have you forgotten all the things I used to do to you as a boy, Mortimer? You remember being tied to the bedpost, the needles underneath your fingernails.
Oh my God, it is Jonathan. Yes, Jonathan. I remember you as the most detestable, vicious, venomous form of animal life I ever knew.
No, don't you two boys start quarreling again the minute you've seen each other.
There isn't going to be any fight, Aunt Abby. Jonathan, you're not wanted here. Get out.
Dr. Einstein and I have been invited to stay.
Not in this house, you don't.
Well, just for tonight.
All right. But first thing in the morning, out. Where are they staying?
Well, we put them in Jonathan's old room.
Well, that's my old room. I'm staying there. I'm here to stay.
Oh, Mortimer, I'm so glad.
Johnny, please sleep downstairs.
You bet your life you sleep down here.
You sleep on the sofa, and I will sleep on the window seat.
The window seat. Oh, well, let's not argue about it. The window seat's fine for me tonight. I'll sleep on the window seat.
Johnny, all this argument, it makes me think of Mr. Spinalzo.
Mr. Spinalzo. Mortimer, there's really no need to inconvenience you like this. Dr. Einstein and I will be more than happy to sleep down here.
Jonathan, your sudden consideration for me is very unconvincing.
Yeah, no, come on, Johnny. We'll get all our things out of the room. Yeah, come on.
Don't bother, Doctor.
By the way, Doctor, I have completely lost track of Mr. Spinalzo.
Who is this Mr. Spinalzo?
Oh, he's just a friend of ours that Johnny has been looking for.
Well, don't bring anyone else in here.
No, please, Johnny, come on. If I'll be back, I will tell you all about it.
But Mortimer, you don't have to sleep down here. I can go in with Martha and you can take my room.
No, don't bother, Aunt Abby. Dr. Einstein and I will be packed in just a moment, and then you can have the room, Mortimer.
You're just wasting your time. I told you I'm sleeping down here tonight.
Mortimer,
What's the matter, darling?
I've almost been killed.
You've almost been... Abby, Martha.
Oh,
He mistook her for a sneak
oh
thief.
no, it was more than that. He's some kind of maniac. Mortimer, I'm afraid of him.
Darling, you're trembling. Have you got any smelling salts?
No, but that's some hot tea or some coffee.
Coffee, and make some for me too. And some sandwiches. I haven't had any
We'll
dinner.
make some for both of you.
Well, we can leave our hats down here now, Martha.
You weren't going out anywhere, were you? You know what time it is? It's after 12. 12. Elaine, you've got to go home right away.
What?
Well, you wanted some sandwiches for you both. Oh, I won't take a minute.
We were going to celebrate your engagement, remember? That's what we'll do. We'll make a nice supper for both of you. And I'll open a bottle of wine.
All right. No wine!
Mortimer, what's going on in this house?
What do you mean, what's going on in this house?
Well, you were supposed to take me to dinner in the theater tonight. You called it off. You asked me to marry you. I said I wouldn't. 5 minutes later, you threw me out of the house. Tonight, just after your brother tries to strangle me, you want to chase me home. Now listen, Mr. Brewster, before I go home, I want to know where I stand. Do you love me?
I love you very much, dear. In fact, I love you so much, I can't marry you.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
I don't think so, but it's just a matter of time. You see, dear, insanity runs in my family. Practically gallops. That's why I can't marry you, dear.
No, wait a minute. You've got to do better than that.
No, you don't understand. There's a strange taint in the Brewster blood. It's like, well, it's what you'd expect if Strindberg had written Hellzapoppin'.
Now, just because Teddy's a little...
No, it goes way back. The first Brewster. You know, the one who came over on the Mayflower? You know how in those days the Indians used to scalp the settlers? Well, he used to scalp the Indians.
Oh, Mortimer, that's ancient history.
No, the whole family. Take my grandfather. He used to give his patent medicines to dead people to make sure he wouldn't kill them.
He wasn't so crazy. He made $1 million.
And then there's Jonathan. You know Jonathan. You said he was a maniac. He tried to kill you.
But he's your brother, not you. I'm in love with you.
And then there's Teddy. You know Teddy. He thinks he's Roosevelt. No, dear. No Brewster should marry. I know now that if I'd met my father in time, I'd have stopped him.
But all this doesn't prove you're crazy. Look at your aunts. They're Brewsters, aren't they? And the sanest, sweetest people I've ever known.
Well, even they have their little peculiarities.
Yes, but with lovely peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, human sympathy.
There's another one.
Oh, Lord, there are plenty of others. You can't tell me anything about them.
I'm not going to, Elaine. Look, you've got to run along. Something just came up.
Well, from where? We're here alone together.
Well, I know I'm acting irrationally, but just put it down to the fact that I'm a mad Brewster.
Look, if you think you're going to get out of this by pretending you're insane, you're crazy. Well, maybe you're not going to marry me, then I'm going to marry you. I love you, you dope.
Well, if you love me, will you get the hell out of here?
Will you walk me home at least? I'm afraid.
Afraid of a little walk through the cemetery.
Will you kiss me goodnight?
Of course, dear. Good night, dear. I'll call you up tomorrow.
You critic.
And Abby and Martha, come in here.
We'll be in a minute, dear.
Come in here right now.
Yes, dear, what is it? Oh, where's the name?
I thought I told you not to let anyone in this house while I was gone. I don't mean Jonathan.
Dr. Einstein.
I don't mean Dr. Einstein. Who is that in the window seat?
Mr. Hoskins.
It is not Mr. Hoskins.
Now, who can that be?
Are you trying to tell me you've never seen this man before?
Well, I certainly am. Why, this is a fine how do you do. It's getting so anybody thinks they can walk right into this house.
But Abby, you can't. This is another one of your gentlemen.
Mortimer, how can you say such a thing? That man is an imposter. And if he came here to be buried in our cellar, he's mistaken.
Oh, and Abby, you admit that you put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat?
Yes, I did.
Oh, this man couldn't have got the idea from Mr. Hoskins. By the way, where is Mr. Hoskins?
Well, he must have gone to Panama.
Oh, you buried him.
Well, no, not yet. He's just down there waiting for the services. Poor dear. We haven't had a minute, what with Jonathan in the house. Always wanted to hold a double funeral. But I will not lead services over a total stranger.
A stranger? And Abby, how can I believe you? There are 12 graves in this cellar, and you admit that you poisoned them.
Well, yes, I did, but you don't think I'd stoop to telling a fib? Oh, Martha!
Now, I'd like to have a word with you, Mortimer.
A word's about all you'll have time for, Jonathan, because I've decided that you and your doctor friend are going to have to get out of this house as soon as you can.
Well, I'm glad that you agree that we can't both live in the same house, but you've arrived at the wrong solution, Mortimer. Pack your suitcase and get out.
Listen, Jonathan, you're beginning to bore me. Take your things and move on.
My dear Mortimer, just because you graduated from the back fence to the typewriter doesn't mean you've grown up. I'm staying, you're leaving, and I mean now.
If you think I can be frightened, if you think there's anything I fear...
Oh, Mortimer, I've lived a very strange life, and it's taught me one thing, to be afraid of nothing.
Martha? Just look and see what's in the window seat.
Now, Aunt Abby.
Jonathan! Show Aunt Martha what's in the window seat. Aunt Abby, I owe you an apology. And I have some very good news for you. Jonathan is just leaving. And he's taking Dr. Einstein and their cold companion with him. Jonathan, you're my brother. You're a Brewster. I'm giving you a chance to get away and take the evidence with you. Now, you can't ask for more than that. All right? That's the way you want it. I'll have to call the police.
Don't reach for that telephone, Mortimer. Have you forgotten what happened to Mr. Spinoza?
Spinoza? I knew he was a foreigner.
Remember, Mortimer, what happened to Mr. Spinoza can happen to you.
Oh, Officer O'Hara, there's something we can do for you.
I saw the lights on. I thought there might be sickness. Oh, I see you've got company. I don't mean to disturb.
Oh, no, no. Come on in. Come on in.
Private Officer O'Hara, this is our nephew Mortimer.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
And this is another nephew, Jonathan.
Oh, pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh, it must be nice having your nephews visit. Well, maybe stay in for a bit.
I'm staying. My brother Jonathan is just leaving.
Hey, haven't I seen a picture around here? Maybe I've met you before.
Oh, I'm afraid not. Jonathan hasn't been home for years.
Well, your face looks very familiar. Are you sure I haven't seen a picture of you someplace?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, I'd hurry if I were you, Jonathan. All your things are packed anyway, aren't they?
Oh, well, you'll be wanting to say your goodbyes. I'll be running
Oh, no,
along.
no, no. We'd like you to stick around until my brother leaves.
No, I just stopped in to make sure everything was all right.
Oh, but we were just about to have a cup of coffee. Won't you join us?
Oh, I forgot the coffee.
And I'll make some more sandwiches. I ought to know your appetite by now, Officer O'Hara.
Oh, don't bother, but I got to ring in a few minutes.
Oh, no. We just stay for a cup of coffee. My brother's about to leave. Here, sit down.
Have I seen a photograph of your brother here someplace?
I don't think so.
He certainly reminds me of someone.
He probably reminds you of someone you've seen in the movies.
Oh, no. No, I never go to the movies. I hate them. You know, this is the movies for a bastard, Art.
Yes, it's full of them. Your mother said that.
Oh, yeah. My mother is an actress. A stage actress. Maybe you've heard of her. Peaches Latour.
Sounds like a name I might have seen in a program somewhere. What did she play?
Well, her big hit was Mutt and Jeff. Ran for 3 years. In fact, I was born on tour, 3rd season.
You were?
Sioux City, Iowa. I was born in my mother's dressing room at the end of the 2nd act, and she made it out in time. Even now.
What a trooper. I'll bet there's a good story in your mother. Say, you know, I write about the theater.
Say, you're not Mortimer Brewster, the dramatic critic, are you?
Yes.
Oh, well, I certainly am glad to meet you, Mr. Brewster. You know, you and I are in the same line of business.
We are?
Oh, yeah, I'm a playwright. Oh, this police thing's just temporary.
How long have you been on the force?
12 years. I'm gathering material for my play.
I bet it's a honey.
Oh, I should say so. With all the drama I see as a cop. Mr. Brewster, you got no idea what goes on in Brooklyn.
I think I have.
Hey, what time do you have?
10 past 1.
Oh, jeez, I got to call in.
Oh, wait a minute, O'Hara. On that play of yours, I may be able to help you with it.
You could. Oh, it was fate my coming here this evening. Now, let me tell you the plot of my play. It opens...
Yes, I'd hurry along if I were you. Don't have much time, you know.
Well, everything's just about ready. Oh, you're leaving, Jonathan. Well, goodbye. Goodbye, Dr. Einstein. Oh, and does this case belong to you?
Yes, Jonathan, you can't go without everything, you know. Oh, by the way, O'Hara, it was nice meeting you, and we'll get together sometime and talk about your play.
Oh, I'm not leaving, Mr. Brewster.
Why not?
Well, you said you'd help me write my play, didn't you? Well, you and me are going to write this thing together.
Well, I couldn't do that. I'm not a creative writer.
Oh, no. I'll do the creative. Let's just put words to it.
But O'Hara...
No, I've made up my mind, Mr. Brewster. I'm not leaving this house until I tell you the plot.
Well, in that case, Mortimer will be running along.
Now, wait a minute. You can't go without all your things, you know. Listen, O'Hara, my brother's just leaving. Why don't you run along now?
Oh, no, I can wait. I've waited for 12 years.
I'm sorry I was so long.
Oh, don't bring that in here. Officer O'Hara, won't you join us in the kitchen for a bite?
Wait, Jonathan's leaving. Well, that's nice.
Come along, Officer O'Hara.
But you're sure you don't mind eating in the kitchen, Officer O'Hara?
Oh, now where else would you eat, ma'am?
Well, goodbye, Jonathan. Nice to have seen you again.
I'm glad you came back to Brooklyn, Jonathan, because it gives me the chance to throw you out. And the first one out is your boyfriend, Mr. Spinaldo.
Say, Mr. Brewster, we can tolerate him here.
Coming right in.
I might have known, Mortimer, that you'd grow up to write a play with a policeman.
Get going now, all three of you.
Doctor, this affair between my brother and I has got to be settled tonight.
No, Johnny, we got trouble enough. Your brother gives us a chance to get away. Come on, what more could you ask?
You don't understand, Doctor. This goes back a good many years.
No, Johnny, let's get going.
No, Doctor, we're not going. We're sleeping right here.
There's a cop in the kitchen, or Mr. Spinal's on the window seat.
That's all they've got on us. We'll take Mr. Spinazzo down to the river and dump him in. We'll come right back here, and then if they try to
No, Johnny.
interfere... Doctor, you know when I've made up my mind.
When you make up your mind, you lose your head. Brooklyn is not a good place for you.
Doctor!
Okay, Johnny, we got to stick together. Maybe we'll get stuck together. But if we're coming back here, then we got to take all this stuff with us.
No. We'll leave it here. And then we'll come back for it later. Hide this in the cellar. Now move quickly.
Yeah.
Mr. Spinoza can go out the same way he came in.
Johnny.
What's the matter?
You know that hole in the cellar?
Yes?
I think we got an ace in the hole. Come on, I'll show you.
Jonathan? Jonathan!
Yes, Mortimer.
What are you doing here? I thought I told you to get out.
We're not good.
Oh, really? You want Officer O'Hara to know what's in the window seat?
We're staying right here.
All right, if that's the way you want it. This gets rid of you and Officer O'Hara at the same time. Officer O'Hara, would you come in here, please?
Mortimer, if you tell Officer O'Hara what's in the window seat, I'll tell him what's down in the cellar.
The cellar?
Yes, there's an elderly gentleman down there who appears to be quite dead.
What were you doing in the cellar?
What is he doing in the cellar?
Oh, no, thank you, ma'am. They were fine. I've had plenty.
Now, what are you going to say to Officer O'Hara?
Mr. Brewster, your aunties want to hear it too. Let me bring them in.
No, we can't do that here now. Not in front of all these people.
Maybe we should go back home.
Yes, that's it. You go over to Kelly's house. Ring in first, and I'll meet you at Kelly's.
Mortimer, why don't you take Officer O'Hara down to the cellar?
Well, that's fine with me. Is this the cellar?
No. We'll go to Kelly's, but first you've got to ring in.
Okay, but it'll only take a minute.
I'll ditch this guy and be back in 5 minutes. I expect to find you gone. Wait for me.
Yes, Doctor, we'll wait for him all right. I've waited a long time for an opportunity like this.
Well, we got him right where we wanted him. Did he look guilty?
Doctor, take the luggage back upstairs.
Has it gone? We thought we heard somebody leave.
Yes, it was just Mortimer, but he'll be back. Is there any food left in the kitchen? I think that Dr. Einstein and I would like to buy.
Oh, no, but there won't be any time.
No, if you're still here when Mortimer gets back, he won't like it.
Oh, he'll like it. He gotta like it.
Yes, get some food for us while we bury Mr. Spinoza with the cellar.
Oh, no, Jonathan, you can't bury him in our cellar. You've got to take him with you.
Oh, but there's a friend of Mortimer's downstairs waiting for you.
A friend of Mortimer's?
Yes, and I'm sure they'll get along quite nicely. They're both dead.
He must be Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins?
You know what's down there.
Well, of course we do. And he's no friend of Mortimer's. He's one of our gentlemen.
Your gentleman?
Yes, and we won't have any strangers buried in our cellar.
But Mr. Hoskins is...
Mr. Hoskins is not a stranger.
Besides, there's no room for Mr. Spinazzo. The cellar's crowded already.
crowded.
There are 12 graves down there now.
12 graves.
And And that leaves very little room. We're going to need it.
Do you mean to tell me that you and Aunt Martha have murdered?
Murdered? Why, certainly not. It's one of our charities.
Why, what we've done is a mercy.
So you just take your Mr. Spinazzo out of here.
You've done that. Here in this house, and you buried them in the cellar.
John, we've been chased all over the world. The ladies stay right here in Brooklyn, and they do just as good as you.
What?
Yeah. You got 12, and they got 12.
No, I have 13.
No, Johnny, 12.
No, Doctor, 13. There's Mr. Spinazzo, the first one in London, 2 in Johannesburg, 1 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne, 2 in San Francisco, 1 in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix?
Yes, the filling station. 3 in Chicago, 1 in South Bend. That makes 13.
No, you can't count the one in South Bend. He died of pneumonia.
He wouldn't have died of pneumonia if I hadn't shot him.
No, he died of pneumonia. He don't count.
He counts with me. I say I have 13.
No, Johnny, you have 12, but they have 12. The old ladies are just as good as you.
Oh, wow. Well, that's easily taken care of. All I need is 1 more. Just 1 more.
Well, here I am.
Ladies,
Eileen, Martha, go upstairs. Now.
I'm watching you.
Please, upstairs where you belong.
You'll find out whose house this is. I'm warning you. You've got to stop this. Oh, hasn't Mortimer come back yet? This is a terrible thing to do, to bury a foreigner with a good message. Not when you desecrate our cellar. And we promised Mr. Hoskins a full Christian funeral. Oh, why do you suppose Mortimer went?
I don't know, but he must be doing something because he said to Jonathan, you just wait, I'll settle this.
Well, he can't very well settle anything while he's out of the house. And that's all we want settled, what's going on down there. Oh, Mortimer.
All right, where's Teddy?
Mortimer, where have you been?
Get over to Dr. Gilchrist. I've got his signature on Teddy's commitment papers.
Mortimer, what is the matter with you? Running around getting papers signed at a time like this.
Do you know what Jonathan is doing?
He's putting Mr. Hoskins and Mr. Spinazzo in together.
Oh, he is he? Well, let him. Teddy upstairs.
Well, Teddy won't be any help.
Don't you see that when Teddy signs these papers, then I can tackle Jonathan?
What have they got to do with it?
You had to go and tell Jonathan about those 12 graves. Don't you see that if I can make Teddy responsible for them, I can protect you too?
Well, no, I don't see. And we pay taxes to have the police protect us.
I'll be right down.
Martha, come along. We're going for the police.
All right. No, you can't go for the police.
Why not?
Because if you tell the police about Mr. Spinazzo, they'll find Mr. Hoskins, and then they'll get curious, and they'll find your other 12 gentlemen.
Oh, Mortimer, we know the police better than you do. I don't think they'd pry into our private affairs if we asked them not to.
But if they found your 12 gentlemen, they'd have to report to headquarters.
Oh, I don't think they'd bother. They'd have to fill out a very long report. And if there's one thing a policeman hates to do, it's to write.
You can't depend on that. It might leak out, and you couldn't expect a judge and a jury to understand.
Oh, Judge Coleman would.
Oh, we know him very well.
He always comes to church to pray just before election.
And he's coming in to tea one day. Oh, promise.
Yes, we must speak to him again about that. His wife died some years ago, and it's left him very lonely.
Well, come along, Martha.
No, you can't do this. You can't go out of this house, and you can't have Judge Coleman over to tea.
But, Mortimer, if you're not going to do something about Mr. Spinazzo, we are...
I am going to do something about it. You may have to bring the police in later, but I want to be ready for them first.
We've got to get Jonathan out of this house.
And Mr. Spinazzo, too.
Would you please just let me do this my own way? I've got to see Teddy.
But, Mortimer, if they're not out of the house by morning, we are going for the police.
They'll be out, I promise. Now go to bed, and for God's sakes, get out of those clothes. You look like Judith Anderson.
Well, that's a relief, isn't it?
Yes, if Mortimer's really going to do something in class, then Jonathan's going to a lot of unnecessary trouble. You better tell him. Oh, Jonathan, you might just as well stop what you're doing.
It's all done. Did I hear Mortimer?
Well, you'll just have to undo it. You're all going to be out of the house by morning.
Oh,
Mortimer's promised.
is that so? Well, in that case, then the two of you might as well just run along to bed and have a good night's sleep.
Maybe.
Good night, Auntie.
Well, not good night, Jonathan. Goodbye. By the time we get up in the morning, you'll be out of this house. Mortimer's promised.
And Mortimer has a way of doing it, too.
And Mortimer is back.
Oh, yes, he's up here talking to Teddy.
Goodbye, Jonathan.
Goodbye, Jonathan.
Perhaps you'd better say goodbye to Mortimer.
Oh, you'll see Mortimer.
Yes, I'll see Mortimer.
Well, that was a good job. It's all done. Smooth like a nobody would ever know they were down. Oh, the bed feels good already. 48 hours we didn't sleep. Come on, Charlie, let's go.
You're forgetting something, Doctor. My dear brother Mortimer.
Oh, John, not tonight. We do that tomorrow or the next day.
Tonight, now.
Oh, John, I'm tired. And tomorrow I got to operate.
Yes, Doctor, tomorrow we operate. But tonight we take care of Mortimer.
Oh, John, let's go to bed.
Doctor, look at me. You can see that it's going to be done, can't you?
Yeah, I can see. I know that look.
It's a little late for us to dissolve our partnership.
Okay, we do it. But we do it the quick way. The quick trace, like in London.
No. No, Doctor. I think this calls for something special. I think perhaps the Melbourne method.
Oh, Johnny, not the Melbourne. 2 hours. And after all, when it's all done, the guy in London is just as dead as the guy in Melbourne.
No, Doctor. We had to work too fast in London. It lacked a certain aesthetic satisfaction. But in Melbourne, that was something to be remembered.
Remember, I wish I did. No, Johnny, not the Melbourne. Not me.
Yes, Doctor. Now, where are your instruments?
I won't do it, John. I won't do it.
Doctor, get your instruments. Doctor, where are they? Oh, yes, you hid them in the cellar, didn't you? Now, where?
No, I won't tell you. I won't tell you.
Never mind. I'll find them.
Oh, Johnny.
Ah, don't do that, Mr. President.
But I cannot sign any proclamation without consulting my cabinet.
But this must be a secret.
A secret proclamation. How would you do?
Japan mustn't know until it's signed.
Japan, those yellow devils, I'll sign it right away. You have my word on it. I can tell the cabinet later.
Let's go in and sign it right away.
No, you stay here. A secret proclamation must be signed in secret.
But at once, Mr. President.
I must put on my signing clothes.
You go now, yeah?
No, Doctor, I'm waiting for something.
No.
Something important.
You go now.
Doctor, I have nothing against you personally. You seem like a nice fellow. So take my advice and get just as far away from this house as possible.
Oh, please, you go quick.
No, Doctor. That's the way it is.
No, I'm warning you. I'm warning you. Get away.
Things are going to start popping around here any minute.
No. Listen, Johnny's in a bad mood. And when he's like this, he's a maniac.
Jonathan.
Things happen. Terrible things.
Jonathan doesn't worry me now.
God, don't those plays you go to teach you anything?
About what?
But at least the people in the place act like they got sandwiches more than you do.
Oh, you think so, do you? You think people in plays act intelligently? Huh. I wish you had to sit through some of the plays I have to sit through. Take the little opus I saw tonight, for instance. In this play, there's this fellow. He's supposed to be bright. He knows he's in a house with murderers. He knows he's in danger. He's even been warned to leave the house. But does he go? No. Now I ask you, Doctor, is that what an intelligent person would do?
You're asking me?
He didn't even have sense enough to be frightened, to be on guard. For instance, the murderer invites him to sit down.
Won't you please sit down?
Believe it or not, that one was in there too.
What did he do?
He sat down. So, there he sits, this fellow who's supposed to be bright, just ready to be trussed up. And what do you suppose they used to tie him up with?
I don't know, Frank.
The curtain cord.
What the curtain cord? That's a good idea. It's very convenient.
A little too convenient? When are the playwrights going to use some imagination? The curtain cord.
Didn't you see him get it?
See him? He just sat there with his back to him. Now, Doctor, this is the kind of stuff I have to sit through night after night. And they say that the critics are killing the theater. It's the playwrights who are killing the theater. So, there he sits, the big dope, this fellow who's supposed to be bright, just waiting to be trussed up and gagged.
Well, you are right about that. That fellow wasn't very bright.
And now, Mortimer, if you don't mind, I'm going to finish that story. You know, Mortimer, I've been away for a very long time, over 20 years. And in all that time, you have never been out of my mind. One night in Melbourne, Mortimer, I dreamed of you. When I arrived back in San Francisco, I had a strange satisfaction. Once more, I was in the same country with you. Ah, Doctor, we go to work.
Oh, please, Johnny. Please, Johnny. Do quickly for me, please.
Oh, no, Doctor. This must be an artistic achievement. After all, we are performing before a very distinguished critic. Ah, Doctor, we're ready for you.
All right, let's get it. Got to have a drink. I can't do this without a drink.
Doctor, pull yourself together.
No. Got to have a drink. The ladies this afternoon have some wine. Yes. It's just enough for the two of us, John. We can both have a drink.
Oh, Doctor, where are our manners? Mortimer, it just occurred to me that it was actually you who brought me back to this country. Doctor, to my dear dead brother. Damn that idiot! He goes next. I call the police to him. He goes next. I will get the teddy later.
No, we won't get to tell you at all.
Now we've got to work fast.
Yeah, for me, the quick way.
Yes, Doctor. The quick way.
Hey, the colonel's got to quit blowing that bugle.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. We're taking the bugle away from you.
There's going to be hell to pay with the neighbors. We promised not to do that anymore.
It won't happen again, officer. Now, thank you very much and good night.
I better tell it myself. Hey, you stood me up. I waited an hour for you at Kelly's. What happened to him?
Oh, he was just explaining the play. This happened to a character in that play.
Oh, was that in the play you saw tonight?
Yeah.
You practically stole that from the second act of my play. Why, in my second act, just before... No, I better begin at the beginning. Now, the play opens in my mother's dressing room where I was born. Okay, I ain't been born yet. Oh, okay. No, you've got to hear the plot. Now, my mother's sitting at her dressing table making up. When all of a sudden the door bursts open, and in comes a man with a black mustache. He turns to my mother and says, "Miss Latour, will you marry me?" Does it not? She's ready. across the table unconscious in her lingerie, and the chink is standing over him, brandishing a hatchet. I'm tied to the chair just like you are, and the room is an inferno of flames. It's on fire. When all of a sudden, in through the window comes Mayor LaGuardia. Hey, take it easy on that. Don't forget who paid for it.
Well, I'm listening, ain't I?
Well, how do you like it?
Well, it put Johnny to sleep.
Oh, the heck with him. If you don't have any more interest in it than that, he don't get another drink. Ooh. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Now, it's 3 days later, and I've been transferred. I'm under charges because somebody stole my badge. So, I'm walking the beat, Staten Island, 46th Precinct, when all of a sudden, it turns out that the man that I'm following is in fact following me. Don't let anybody in. I figures I'm out smart. There's a vacant house in the corner, and I goes in. I stand in the dark, and I see the doorknobs turn. So I pull my gun, I brace myself, and I say, come in.
What the hell is going on here?
Oh, hey, what do you know? This is Mortimer Brewster. I'm telling him the story of my play.
Did you have to tie him up to make him listen? You better check in at the station, Joe. The whole force is out looking for you.
Oh, did you come here looking for me?
I didn't know you was here. I came to warn the old ladies there's help to pay. The colonel blew the bugle in the middle of the night last night. And from the way the neighbors been calling in about it, you think the Germans dropped a bomb on Flatbush Avenue. By the way, the lieutenant's on the warpath. He says the colonel's got to be put away someplace.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, gee, Mr. Brewster, I got to run away now, so I'll just go through the third act real quick.
You stay away from me.
Do you know what time it is? It's after 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my goodness gracious. With the first and second act ran a little long, but I don't see what we can leave out.
You can leave it all out.
Who the hell's this guy?
That's my brother.
The one that ran away?
Yes, he came back.
This is Klein. Get me Mac. Yeah, Mac. I got him. Yeah, in a Brewster house. Hey, you want me to bring him in? Yeah, call off the big manhunt, yeah. All right, I'll hold him right here. Okay. Lieutenant says he's on his way over.
Okay. All right. I've been turned in, eh? You got me. I suppose that stool-pigeon brother of mine is going to share the reward with you.
Reward?
All right, I'm going to do a little turning in of my own now. You all think that my aunts are sweet, charming little old ladies, don't you? Well, there are 13 bodies buried in the cellar.
What the hell are you talking about?
You better be careful how you talk about those aunties of yours. They happen to be friends of ours.
Well, I'll prove it to you. Come, I'll show you in the cellars. Come with me. No, 13 bodies. I'll show you where they're buried.
Yeah, right.
Come with me down to the cellar.
I'll go down in the cellar with me.
I don't think I want to be down the cellar with him. Look at that puss. He looks like Boris Karloff. Well, what do you think about that?
Come in.
What the hell are you men doing here? I told you I was going to handle this.
We was just about to get
What happened? You put up a fight?
No, that ain't the guy that blows the bugle. That's his brother. He tried to kill Klein.
Yeah, and all I said was he looked like Boris Karloff.
Turn him over.
We kind of think he's wanted somewhere.
Oh, you kind of think he's wanted somewhere. Well, if you guys don't look at the circulars we hang up in the station, at least you can read True Detective. Certainly he's wanted. In Indiana, he escaped from a prison for the criminal insane. He's a lifer. For God's sakes, that was how he was described. He looks like Karloff.
Was there a reward mentioned?
Yeah, and I'm claiming it.
He wanted us to go down to the cellar with him.
Yeah, he said there's 13 bodies buried down there.
13 bodies in the cellar. And that didn't tip you off he came out of the nut house?
Oh, I thought he talked kind of crazy.
Oh, you did, huh, Shakespeare? Well, where have you been all night? And you needn't bother to tell me.
I've been right here. I've been writing my play with Mr. Mortimer Brewster.
Oh, really? Well, you're going to have a lot of time to write that play. Because as of noon today, you're suspended. Now, let's get this guy out of here. Question him somewhere else.
Can I still come down to the station and use the typewriter?
No! Now get the letter! And see what you can find out about his accomplice. The guy that helped him escape, he's wanted too. Jeez, no wonder Brooklyn's in the shape it's in, with a police force full of flatheads like you. have fallen for a story like that. 13 bodies in the cellar.
But there are 13 bodies in the cellar.
Who are you?
President Roosevelt. Oh, dear me, is this another yellow fever victim?
What?
All the bodies in the cellar are yellow fever victims.
Oh, no, Colonel. This is a spy we caught trying to sneak into the White House.
Will you get that guy out of here?
Well, if there's any interrogation of spies to be done, I'll be the one to do it.
You stay out of this.
You forget that as President of the United States, I'm also head of the Secret Service.
Captain, I'm Mortimer Brewster.
Are you sure?
I want to talk to you about my brother, Teddy, the one who blew the bugle.
Listen, Mr. Brewster, we ain't gonna talk about that. He's gotta be put away.
Oh, I quite agree with you. It's all been arranged for. I've had Dr. Gilchrist, our family physician, sign the papers. Here, Teddy signed them himself, and I've signed his next of kin.
Where's he going?
Happy Dale.
Yeah, well, I don't care where he goes, as long as he goes.
Oh, he's going all right. But, listen, I just want you to know that anything you may have heard about what's going on in this house, Teddy's responsible for. Now, those 13 bodies in the cellar.
Yeah, those 13 bodies in the cellar. Look, it ain't enough. The neighbors are all afraid of it. And it's disturbing the peace with that bugle. But can you imagine what would happen if that cockeyed story about 13 bodies in the cellar gets around? And now he's spreading the yellow fever rumor. Ain't cute, ain't it?
13 bodies, huh? Think anyone would believe a story like that?
Yeah. Well, you never can tell. Some people are just dumb enough. You just don't know what to believe sometimes. I mean, last year in Greenpoint, this crazy guy starts his murder rumor, and we had to dig up this half-an-acre lot just to prove that there was nothing there.
Excuse me a minute.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mortimer.
Good morning, dear.
This is Mr. Witherspoon. He's come to meet Teddy.
It's me, Teddy.
Mr. Witherspoon's the superintendent of Happydale.
Oh, come in. Come right in. Mr. Witherspoon, this is Captain...
Lieutenant Rooney, I'm glad you're here, Super, because you're taking him with you today.
Today? I didn't know
And
you.
not today.
Listen, Elaine, I've got some business to attend to. You run along home, will you?
I had no idea it was this immediate.
Yeah, well, the papers are all signed. He's going today.
Total insubordination. Oh, you men will find out. I'm no mollycoddle. Ooh, imagine treating the President of the United States like that. What's this country coming to?
There's your man, Super.
Just a minute. Mr. President, I have some very important news for you. Your term of office is over.
Oh. Is this March 4th?
Practically.
Oh, now I go on my hunting trip to Africa. Is he trying to get into the White House before I leave it? Who? Taft.
This isn't Mr. Taft, Teddy. This is Mr. Witherspoon. He's to be your guide in Africa.
Oh, that's bully, just bully. Well, I shall prepare at once for the journey. If the safari comes, just tell them to wait. Oh, Aunt Abby. Goodbye. Goodbye, Aunt Martha. I'm on my way to Africa. Isn't it wonderful? Charge!
Good morning, darlings.
Oh, we have visitors.
This is Captain, Lieutenant Rooney, I'm sorry.
Oh, how do you do, Lieutenant? Oh, my. You don't look like the fuss budget the policemen say you are.
The lieutenant is here because, well, you know Teddy blew his bugle again last
Oh,
night.
yes, we're going to speak to Teddy about that.
Well, I'm afraid it's a little more serious than that, Miss Brewster.
The police want Teddy to go to Happydale now, today.
Oh, no. That's not until after we've gone, not while we're alive.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Miss Brewster, but he signed the papers, he's committed himself, and he's going today.
Oh, no.
We won't permit it. We'll promise to take the bugle away from him.
We won't be separated from Teddy.
I'm sorry, ladies, but the law's the law.
Well, if he's going, then we're going too.
Yes. You
Well-
take him, you'll have to take us with him.
Well, why not?
Well, sweet of them to want to, but I'm afraid it's impossible. We don't take sick with Happydale.
This is Mr. Witherspoon, the superintendent at Happydale.
Mr. Witherspoon, if you let us live there with Teddy, then we'll see that Happydale is in our will and for a very generous amount.
Well, Lord knows we could use the money.
Ladies.
But I'm afraid it's impossible.
Let's be sensible here. For instance, here I am wasting my morning when I have serious work to do. You know, there are still murders to be solved in Brooklyn.
Yes. Oh, are there?
All right. It's not only the fact that the neighbors are all afraid of him and is disturbing the peace with that bugle, but sooner or later, we'd be put to the trouble of digging up your cellar.
Our cellar.
Yeah, your nephew's been spreading around that there are 13 bodies buried in your cellar.
But there are 13 bodies in our cellar.
Why, if you think that's why Teddy has to go away, why, you just come right down into our cellar and we'll prove it to you.
Oh, but there's one, Mr. Spinoza.
Oh,
he doesn't belong there and he'll have to leave. But the other 12 gentlemen.
I don't think the lieutenant wants to go down in the cellar. He was just telling me how he had to dig up a whole half-acre lot. Weren't you, Lieutenant?
That's right.
Oh, but you wouldn't have to be here. The graves are all marked. And we put flowers on them every Sunday.
Flowers. You sure you can't find room for them?
We'll show you graves.
I'm a busy man. I'll take your word for it. How about it, Super?
Well, they have to be committed.
Well, Teddy committed himself. He signed the papers. Can't they sign them too?
Teddy, can you go?
Certainly.
We want to go too. Where are the papers?
Yes, where are they?
He's coming around, Lieutenant.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Klein.
Oh, Mr. Klein, you're here too.
Yeah, O'Hara and I got your other nephew out.
Oh.
Well, sign him up, Superintendent. I want this all cleared up this morning. 13 bodies.
Now, if you'll sign, right here.
I'm really looking forward to this. The neighborhood here's changed so.
Just think, a front lawn again.
And you hear Aunt Abby?
Oh, I'm afraid we're overlooking something.
What's that?
Well, we're going to need the signature of a doctor.
Dr. Einstein! Won't you come right over here? We have some papers we want you to sign. Oh, come right on over. Would you believe I thought the doctor was going to operate on me last night? Come right over here, doctor. Just sign right here, doctor.
Are you leaving, Doctor?
Yeah, I really must be going.
Well, aren't you going to wait for Jonathan?
Oh, I don't think they're going to the same place.
Oh, hello, Lane. Nice to see you. Stick around, huh?
Don't worry, I'm going to.
Hello, Matt. Yeah, it's Rooney. Listen, we picked up that guy that's wanted in Indiana. Yeah, right there on my desk. There's a description of his accomplice. Read it to me, would you? Yeah, about 54 years old, 5'6", full white beard and mustache, talks with a German accent, poses as a doctor. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot, Matt.
It's all right, Lieutenant. The doctor here has just completed the signatures.
Thanks a lot, Doc. You're really doing Brooklyn a service.
Mr. Brewster, as next of kin, that's right.
There. There. Now everything's complete. Everything's legal.
Oh, yes.
Well, Aunties, you're safe now.
Now, ladies, when do you think you'll be ready to start?
Well, Mr. Witherspoon, why don't you go upstairs and tell Teddy just what he can take along?
Upstairs?
Here, I'll show him.
Oh, no, Mortimer. We want to talk to you. Yes, Mr. Witherspoon, just upstairs. Turn to your left.
Well,
Well, Mortimer, now that we're moving, this house really is yours.
Yes, dear, we want you to live here now.
No, this house is too full of memories.
Well, you and Elaine wouldn't need a home when you're married.
Well, darlings, I'm afraid that's very indefinite.
Well, it's nothing of the kind. We're going to be married right away.
But, Mortimer, there's something else we're really very worried about.
Now, darlings, you're going to love it at Happy Dale.
Oh, we're very happy about the whole thing. That's just it. We don't want anything to go wrong.
Will they investigate the signatures?
Oh, don't worry. They won't look up Dr. Einstein.
Well, it's not his signature, dear. It's yours.
You see, you signed as next of kin.
Well, of course, why not?
Oh, Mortimer, this is something we never really wanted to tell you, but now you're a man, and it's something Elaine should know, too. Well, Mortimer, you see, darling, you're not really a rooster. You see, your mother came to us as a cook, and you were born about 3 months afterwards. And she was such a sweet woman and such a good cook, we didn't want to lose her. So brother married her.
I'm not really a rooster?
Oh, now don't feel too badly. It won't make any difference to you.
Elaine, do you hear? Do you understand? I'm a bastard!
Well, I think I'd better get things started for breakfast. Well, Mortimer's coming over to my house. Father's going to Philadelphia, and Mortimer and I are going to have breakfast together.
Yes, I need some coffee. I've had quite a night.
Well, in that case, I should think you'd want to go to bed.
I do.
One moment with a spoon. Take this with you.
We're not going to need the wagon. My car's just out front.
Oh, Jonathan, you're leaving?
Yeah, he's going back to Indiana. There's some people there who want to take care of him the rest of his life.
Well, Jonathan, it's nice to know you have someplace to go. We're leaving too, Jonathan. Yes, we're going to Happydale.
Oh, so then this house has seen the last of the Brewsters, eh?
Unless Mortimer wants to live here.
I have a suggestion to make. Why don't you turn this house over church?
Well, we never thought of that.
After all, it should be part of the cemetery.
Come on, let's get going. I'm a busy man.
All right. I can't better my record now, but neither can you. At least I have that satisfaction. The score stands even. 12 to 12.
Jonathan always was such a mean boy. He would never stand to see anybody get ahead of him. I just wish there was some way we could show him he isn't so smart. Mr. Witherspoon, does your family live with you in Happydale?
I have no family.
Oh, well, I suppose you consider everybody at Happydale your family.
You don't seem to understand. As head of the institution, I have to remain quite aloof.
Oh, well, that must make it very lonely for you.
It does. But my duty's my duty.
If Mr. Witherspoon won't join us for breakfast, I think at least we should offer him a glass of elderberry wine. We make it ourselves.
Elderberry wine? Why, yes. Of course, at Happydale, our relationship will have to be more formal. But, here. Don't see much elderberry wine nowadays. I thought I'd had my last glass of it.
Oh, no. Here it